Welcome to your Leo new moon yoga embodiment practice. We're going to aim for a 30-minute flow and then move into restorative at the end of our 30 minutes together. Let's jump right into this Leo new moon energy. Come to the top of your mat with your two padas, your 2 feet together. So bringing in the 2 feet together and closing down the eyes, rolling the shoulders a few times, and then finding a moment of stillness with the palms facing forward as if they were in your back pockets, and bringing your awareness to the bottom of your feet, noticing all your toes rooted into the earth, and just taking a moment to rock back and forth slightly until you come into balance or equilibrium. And then scanning your awareness from the bottom of your feet to the tops of your feet and your ankles, becoming aware of your calf muscles and shins. And then scanning up to your knees, lifting up and out of the knee socket, the knee joint. Scanning the quads and relaxing the quadriceps, the hamstrings, relaxing the thighs. Feeling into the pelvic bowl, becoming aware of your pelvic bowl, all the muscles and joints in the pelvis. Lifting up and out of the pelvic bowl, bring your awareness to your belly and just noticing the condition of your belly, and then wrapping your awareness into your back body, your low back, lifting up and out of the pelvis, becoming aware of the spine and the vertebra, maybe getting a little taller, creating space between the vertebra as you scan your awareness around to your rib cage, noticing where the floating rib is, where all of the muscles between the ribs are, becoming aware of the lungs and the diaphragm and the side waist, becoming aware of the shoulder blades, the shoulders, your chest, relaxing the underarms, the clavicles, sternum, scalenes, relaxing the shoulders, and perhaps visualizing a waterfall cascading over your shoulders, melting away any tension over the shoulders as you bring your awareness down to your biceps, relaxing the biceps and the elbows, the forearms. And then just see if you can bring your awareness to all 10 fingertips at once, expanding the awareness to 10 points simultaneously. And then contracting your awareness to your palms, seeing if you can contract your awareness to the palms of your hands. And then expand your awareness to all 10 fingers. And then contracting your awareness to the palms of your hands. And with this, noticing the power of your awareness to both expand and contract, to focus on a single point and many points. Scanning your awareness up your fingers, wrists, forearms, elbows, biceps, and shoulders, and then relaxing the neck. Scanning your awareness up to your head and becoming aware of every single hair on your head. Noticing the space above the head, the crown, and opening up this space to receive cosmic guidance, divine intuition at the level of your crown chakra, Sahasrara. Elevating your awareness, sublimating your awareness to the top of the head and the space above the head. And then bringing your awareness to your forehead, your third eye, the space between the eyebrows. activating the optic nerve by just gently gazing up between the eyebrows with the eyes closed. And noticing the weather pattern of the mind today. What has been the condition of your mind since you woke up today? Perhaps the mind has been jumping from the past to the future. The thoughts might be scattered and quick. Or perhaps the mind has been sluggish, tired, as if in a fog. Or maybe the mind has been sattvic, clear, at peace, balanced, harmonious. Without judgment, just noticing the nature of the mind is to fluctuate and change. And as you can observe the nature or condition of your thoughts, therefore you are not your thoughts, you are the awareness observing those thoughts. Taking a moment just to rest in this state of observer, the witness consciousness, pure awareness. And then we're going to gently open the drishti, the gaze, as we begin our Leo new moon practice. The new moon is a time to empty out, release, let go, and pause in the void moment, in the hiatus moment. Here we're emptying out, clearing out our canvas, and this is a space of pure potential. When we're able to do that work of letting go, releasing into the void, into the nothingness, into the pause, and then we're really clearing out this space of pure potentiality, pure possibility with a blank canvas. The new moon is a beautiful time to rest. So be at ease and restful as you move through this new moon embodiment. And also we have the fire energy of Leo season to work with too. So as at the same time, while we're emptying out, we're also tapping into the pure potentiality of the Leo nature, the royal regal king who has majestic pride and majestic loyalty. Imagine and bring forward that lion energy. And if you're a lion, just creating the space for you to discover that potential here. And as we begin, let us open the heart as we inhale, lifting the hands up to the sky as the shoulders melt down the back. Let's dive forward very slowly, moving into our first forward fold of our practice. You can bend the knees here. The brain is heavy in the head, relaxing the neck. And taking a few breaths here. If you need to, you can separate the feet hips width apart as you rest in this forward fold inversion. Taking some deep breaths. You can even activate your lion's breath by sticking out the tongue and making a ha sound. So inhaling and exhaling. Inhaling and exhaling. Keep breathing. If you want to take a few more lion's breaths, go ahead. Just taking off my necklace. And taking a few moments here, perhaps shaking the head yes and no as I just adjust my microphone. Beautiful. And inhaling, gently lift and lengthen. Notice the isometric contraction while the crown lifts towards the front wall and the coccyx, the tailbone, points backwards here. Just noticing the engagement of the core. And then exhaling, forward folding, placing the hands firmly on the ground, spreading your lion's paws wide here. And take a moment just to activate the hands. Activate the thumb and index finger, the middle finger especially, as you allow your shoulders to come over your wrists. And be buoyant here, activating the navel, hugging the navel in. I'm not dropping down, and I maybe even can lift myself up a little bit here just to explore this plank position. The feet can be together or separate. And we're just going to build some heat here for a moment. You are so much stronger than you think you are. Take a few deep breaths in this plank posture as you notice heat building in your body. Leo is a fire sign ruled by the sun. We're activating that fire element. And breathe. Exhaling, coming down all the way to the floor, and we're going to take a Shalabhasana. So pressing the pubic bone down into the earth here. And we're going to bring the palms back as the forehead comes to the ground. And my palms are facing down. I'm going to lift up into this back bend and heart opener, inhaling. And staying in Shalabhasana for a breath. And then exhaling down, strengthening the back. Inhaling, coming up, opening the heart, shoulders come back, don't tweak the neck. And exhaling down, and one more time, Shalabhasana. Inhaling, coming up, beautiful. Flying here for a moment, and if you want, you can take your hands out in front of you into this more Superman posture. And just noticing, reposing in the after effect of this asana, noticing. And let's press back to a child's pose. Placing the forehead on the earth, the hands come out in front of you. The knees are wide to allow the hips to release here in this child's pose. Leo in the 5th house, Leo's house rules over children. So if we want to see if there's karma to have a child, we can often look at the 5th house or our Leo placements in the natal chart, interestingly. And otherwise, Leo rules over children because Leo is the sign of play and affections. So take time to play here and delight and be childlike as you explore your embodiment. And taking a few deep breaths here, you can always stick out your tongue and activate your lion's breath with a ha sound. And then let's come up onto our knees. Beautiful. Taking a moment here on the knees, let's just arch forward and round back. Arching forward, shoulders come back, chest comes forward. Rounding back. So I am activating the spine, exhaling, hugging the navel in. You can actually leave your chin parallel to the earth here, and exhaling back. Inhaling forward, arching the back forward, exhaling back, round the back. Inhaling and exhaling. Let's take some Kundalini type breaths. Inhaling, exhaling a little bit rapidly here. So inhale forward, exhale back. Strong breath, powerful breath. Closing the eyes if that feels good for you. Chin is parallel to the floor. Beautiful. Wonderful. Let's come back into our first downward facing dog here in our short Leo new moon practice. Placing the hands firmly into the ground and pressing back into our downward facing dog. The heels slowly, gently melt towards the floor as our hamstrings get longer. Our seat lifts up and we look back towards the navel gently. The gaze is at the navel here. You can pedal out the feet here. You can even move your feet wider with mats width apart if that feels good for you. Otherwise, the feet are roughly hips width apart here. You can explore different lengths to your dog too as well. The shoulders are pressing back. The neck is relaxed. The brain is heavy in the head. The gaze again is at the navel. And there's like a hollowing out in the low belly as I engage my bandhas, Mula Bandha, that root lock. And taking a few moments here, you can even engage that lion's breath again. So inhaling and exhaling, sticking out the tongue. You're more than welcome to continue detoxifying and releasing with that powerful lion's breath throughout this flow. And we're going to just roll our spine forward here. So coming forward, arching the back, rolling the spine, dropping the navel down into a plank posture here. Coming back to our plank and exhaling, rolling back into a dog and rolling forward into plank and pressing back to our downward facing dog. Nice. And we're going to just gently lift the right leg and come forward into a low lunge on the right side. In traditional Ashtanga yoga, we like to come on the right first because of the ascending and descending colon. We follow that. We're trying to support that flow. And so we're just going to come here with the knee over the ankle in a nice low lunge. If you want to take this into a lizard lunge or a runner's lunge, you can always place the hands down and straighten the left leg there, the back knee. Feel free to rock and explore there. Or simply having the knee on the ground is beautiful. Staying here for a few breaths, either in your low lunge or runner's lunge. And feeling just a sense of playfulness. So just feeling into what that might look like or feel like, that childlike wonder. As we move the foot out towards the right side of your mat, and we're just going to twist. So you can open the arm up to the sky or place it on your right knee. And we're just going to do this really gentle twisting here in this beautiful low lunge posture, just to open up that left hip here, taking a few breaths in, and if you really want to, you can bend the knee and grab the foot, but totally optional there. And just looking a little bit over your right shoulder if that feels okay. As you inhale and exhale, perhaps activating that victorious Ujjayi breath. From the low belly, we slightly constrict the throat, while the engine of the breath is always in the low belly. Coming back, and let's press back into our plank again, lifting the back knee and stepping back into our beautiful plank posture. A variation on our chaturanga is to drop the knees and placing the chest and chin on the floor here before coming forward into a low cobra. Opening the heart here and then pressing back again into our child's pose. Gorgeous. Taking a few breaths in our child's pose, activating and tapping into both that playfulness of the Leo energy and also that regal energy of the lion. So see which one resonates more with you right now. The lion ruled by the sun is the king of the sky, the CEO, the center of our solar system, that life-giving force responsible for sustaining life. Also reflected in that Leo archetype is the proud king, the regal energy. And then pressing back into our downward facing dog. Beautiful. Taking a few breaths in our down dog. Gorgeous. Nice. Letting the heels melt towards the floor, stretching out the hamstrings, perhaps coming high on the demi point of the toes, and then coming back again, just pedaling out the feet if that feels good, relaxing and wrapping the shoulders. The brain is heavy in the head, the neck is totally relaxed. As we press back through all 5 fingers, especially that index, middle, and thumb, just pressing into the earth with the palms of the hands and taking some deep breaths here. Resetting. And then gently lifting the left leg to step through, placing the left foot on the floor between your hands or with both hands inside of the foot. And taking a moment here in your low lunge. Beautiful. And if you'd like to activate that runner's lunge or lizard lunge, go for it. Lifting the back knee here for some more activation. Breathing, beginning to activate that Ujjayi breath, that victorious breath that comes from the low belly. And then the foot can walk out towards the edge of the mat as you open the heart and twist here. And you can even bring the hand up if that feels good, or keep the hand on the knee as you open and twist to the side. The knee can come out, so a loose alignment. Beautiful. And maybe even looking back over the shoulder if that feels good. Taking a few breaths here. And then if it feels right, you can grab your lion's tail and move deeper into the pose, into a quad stretch, a deeper quadricep stretch there, if that feels aligned. Before stepping back into our plank posture and coming down again to the floor, all the way to the earth here, let's go into our Shalabhasana once more, bringing the palms down, straightening the arms as we press the pubic bone down into the earth. As we lift up, I'm not tweaking my neck, I'm actually looking down through the most part here to get a really nice long line as I activate my hands and actively activate my legs, reaching back. Again, we have that isometric contraction. The crown of my head is reaching forward as my hands and feet are reaching back. And I'm pressing down to lift up. And after taking a few breaths, just placing the forehead down onto the earth, and you can rock the sacrum, the low back, from side to side to release any tension if that feels good to you. And now let's come into a Sphinx pose here. In this yin posture, allowing the back to melt into the floor, the low back to melt, and opening the heart. This is a really nice posture. And if we can hold this yin posture for longer, we can start to really notice the hormonal balancing effects of this pose. If we practice regularly. Just taking a few moments here. So not always do we need a really intense activation. Sometimes it's better to back off a bit so we can connect into and release the fascia, the connective tissue, and bypass the muscle with those long, deep holds that are akin to putting braces on the connective tissue as opposed to tearing and strengthening the muscle. Just taking a moment here to open the heart. The best part of Leo is its big, brave, bold heart. Definitely full of that. Leo at its best is heartfelt and full of heart. Can also be very romantic. So here, also activating that second chakra, that romantic, dreamy element, but more so the courageous strength and power of the heart. And coming down, placing the forehead on the earth, perhaps rocking side to side if that feels good to you. And let's roll back on to hands and knees. And let's take some cat-cow. Inhaling, the navel drops, the head lifts. Exhaling, hugging the navel in, cat. Inhaling, dropping the navel, looking up. Exhaling, cat. So getting a pretty vigorous breath here. Going as fast or as slow as you want. But if you want to do it Kundalini yoga style, then you can inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. And you can build up to quite a speed if that feels good, but go at your own pace. So I just demonstrated that Kundalini yoga style, that more activated breath, but you can also enjoy inhaling slowly, lavishly, and exhaling. And then let's press back again into our downward facing dog. And we're just going to slowly, little steps up to meet our hands and come up to standing. Beautiful. Taking a moment just to pause, noticing the effects of our yoga practice so far. Let's just come into a chair pose to finish our standing postures here. So just coming into our chair, sitting back, raising the hands up, the shoulders are relaxed. I should be able to see my toes here, so I'm balancing. And my knees are not covering my toes. Rather, if I look down, I can see them. And I'm getting longer. Just gently, my gaze is looking up. And taking a few breaths here. And we're just going to flow between lifting the ankles into a demi-point and coming into our drinking bird. So the hands come back as my head dips forward and then again into chair. And then exhaling, drinking bird, lifting the heels if you can. Inhaling up into chair and exhaling back into drinking bird. A few more times. Inhaling and exhaling. Inhaling and release. Coming into our forward fold. Gorgeous. And let's just come down to the floor. If you have any yoga blocks, feel free to grab them, or a strap can come in handy too. If not a strap, then a scarf can support you. And we're just going to roll down with the feet on the floor, vertebra by vertebra, coming down to the ground. Beautiful. Taking a moment here, let's just rock our sacrum up and down, rocking around the clock, rocking clockwise and then counterclockwise a few times, checking out your diagonal and horizontal here before placing the sacrum firmly on the ground, before stretching out completely. I'm going to lift my hands up and over, and I'm going to start to awaken and activate the core. Leo is a fire sign, so that correlates with our Manipura chakra, our solar plexus at the navel center, the center of leadership, willpower, and also our ego. We're going to activate that, a healthy ego, working towards that healthy ego, rather than an imbalanced Manipura chakra that can manifest as violence, anger, narcissism. We really want to cultivate the deep inner strength of vitality here. And we're going to do that very gently, just seeing if you can get your back flat on the ground before you lift your right leg up with the hands overhead, and then switch in the air, left, and then right, and then left. See if you can flatten your back, and then right, and then left, and keep going. And just keep switching with the hands overhead, activating the core and breathing. Beautiful. Gorgeous. Keep going and just switch and switch and switch and switch, and beautiful. Just activating gently the core, noticing what that feels like there, and then bending the knees, bringing the heels over the hips here, legs up the wall. And we're going to do that just switching and switch and switch and switch and switch, and then bringing both legs up. And now we're just going to walk, alternating, twisting the ankles, walking down the wall. So I'm just walking here, walking up, walking down, crossing over, zigzagging a little bit here. So I'm just crossing, and I'm just walking up and down and up and down and up, and I'm breathing. Beautiful. Love that. I want you just to reach up towards your toes and lift your sacrum, and then lift it again, and lift it, and lift. Great. And keep lifting your feet up towards the wall. Exhaling as you lift. Great. And now we're going to rock up into our boat, and you can just see if you can come here, activating your solar plexus, your willpower here, and then letting the hands go. And if you can straighten the legs, that's fantastic. Otherwise, right here is perfectly fine. And just taking a few breaths here in your boat pose. Navasana. Gorgeous. And releasing. And we're just going to come into a low boat for a moment. So come into your low boat, lifting the feet, lifting the shoulders, looking down, activating the core, and taking a few breaths here. And releasing. Great. Should feel your core activated, your abs really working hard. Fantastic. And just releasing, taking a moment to feel the effects of this heat-inducing posture. And then we're going to bring our feet again to the earth. And we're just going to lift our hips as our arms come up, rolling up and down the spine. So I'm rocking up, lifting up onto my shoulders with my head firmly on the earth, and then rocking down my pelvic. I'm tilting my pelvic bowl even, and then I'm rocking up, vertebra by vertebra, and down, and up, and down. Gorgeous. We're going to come into a little bridge posture here. So placing all of your feet, all of your toes, both of your feet firmly on the ground here. Feeling really stable and supported. Taking a moment and psyching yourself up before you press down into the earth and lift the hips here, clasping the hands, walking the shoulders underneath you. The back of the head, like the pineal gland, is pressing into the earth for extra support, not too intensely. And then I'm lifting my hips, and my knees are not splaying out. Rather, I'm keeping them parallel as if I had a block between my knees. And in fact, if you have a block, you can even put them between your knees to really activate even more here. And breathing deeply. Staying lifted, relaxing the glutes. And when you're ready, rolling vertebra by vertebra down to the earth and releasing. You can straighten out the legs for a moment as you bask in the after effects of the bridge pose. Taking a few moments to notice the energizing effects of that bridge posture. And then we're going to come back up again. And this time, if you want, after you press down to lift up, you can even walk your elbows underneath with the palms up, then now supporting my low back. So I'm actually grasping my sideways, my hips here, and just supporting myself as I use my elbows to support me here. And really working to maintain a parallel between my legs rather than splaying out. And opening the chest, stretching the stomach. Breathing here. Activating the glutes, but allowing them also to be relaxed, so we're not like overly tense in the glutes. And taking a few more breaths. Gorgeous. And then coming down when you are done, releasing to the earth, straightening the legs, taking a moment here just to notice the effects. Gorgeous. Bending the right knee in and hugging the right knee towards the right shoulder there, just to get a nice stretch. You can place the hand on the left quad to make sure that it stays rooted, grounded to support you here. And then we're just going to twist over to the left side. So gently coming over with the left knee onto the earth, and then seeing if you can open up the right arm as you look out. Perhaps both shoulders come to the earth, or if you have a block, you could even put it under your knee to support you. If that is too much, feel free to bend both knees here as you twist. Releasing, detoxifying. And taking a few breaths here as you release any tension. The Leo energy wants to shine its light bright. Leo rules over the performing arts and the playhouse, theater and drama. Leo is the diva, the star, not in the tarot, but not the star in the tarot. Aquarius is the star, but Leo wants to be the star of the show and loves affection, to be treated like the star. So this is the time to connect in and clear out space from anything that's inhibiting you from shining your light bright and taking center stage. And then coming back to center, and then straightening the right knee and hugging the left knee in towards the left shoulder blade, armpit. Taking a moment, you can place the right hand again on the right quadricep just to give yourself some extra support in your stretch. Hugging that knee in. And then twisting over to the right side here, using any blocks or anything to prop you up or support you, or both knees can bend too as you straighten out the left arm and look out to your left. Both shoulder blades are hopefully able to reach the earth here. And closing down the eyes as you breathe and release. Clear out space for your bright light to shine and for you to courageously come forward as a leader in the domain of your life where you feel most alive, activated. Leo loves to express itself. So we're just releasing, clearing out, detoxifying, letting go of anything that's in the way of us expressing our creativity. Taking a few more breaths here in this gentle twist before you release and come back to center. And let's just thread the needle, bending the right knee into a figure 4 and clasping the hands around the shin or the back of the thigh. Just taking a moment here to thread the needle, taking a few breaths. And releasing both feet up into legs up the wall before coming into a figure 4 on the other side, threading the needle, threading your hand through the figure 4 there, and clasping the hands on the back of the thigh or the shin, noticing the difference between either side, which is totally normal. And just releasing, noticing being aware. And releasing and coming down into our final resting pose, Shavasana. And you can kind of scoot the shoulders even underneath you if that feels right. As you separate the hands a little bit from the body, the feet are wide, we're taking up space. And just releasing into our final resting pose, Shavasana. Releasing any effort, surrendering fully. The wisdom of yoga and a core principle or teaching is to take the action with your whole heart and then surrender the results up to the lotus feet of the divine. So trusting in your best efforts and then surrendering, not grasping or attached to the outcome or result. So here now we have this opportunity. We've done our practice and now we're surrendering and allowing. Feeling yourself melting into the floor beneath you. You are so deeply held, nourished, and supported here. As you release, and perhaps feeling like a wave of warm relaxation washes over you from crown to toe. Feeling the harmonious distribution of all that you've cultivated through this practice, through your entire being. A sensation of floating, a dissolving of your body outline. Peace. And as you lay here resting, planting a seed of desire, a sankalpa, in your heart, anything you desire. Just planting that seed with trust and faith and a gentle sense of detachment in your heart for something you desire to cultivate and grow in this next lunation, especially over these next 2 weeks until the full moon in Pisces, where you may harvest the fruits and surrender them up on the full moon. And perhaps staying here or wiggling your fingers and your toes if you're ready. before stretching out and rolling over to one side, placing your ear on your bicep, cradling your head in a fetal position, and taking a moment here to observe and celebrate the in-between spaces, the transitional moment, before pressing down into the earth to come up to a seat. And we're just going to enjoy a few rounds of Bhramari Pranayama, the bee pranayama. So inhaling, we're going to take our clean right hand and we're going to close our right nostril and we're going to inhale left every time we inhale left. One long deep breath, no count, just inhaling. And then we're going to take our thumbs and place them on the little flaps of the ears, and then placing the first index finger near the interior fontanelle, towards the Brahmarandra here. And then the second finger, third finger, fourth finger just above the eyebrows. It's like a helmet, as if I'm wearing a spaceship helmet. Well, I'm covering my ears because I'm going to be listening to the internal sound of the bee that I'm creating. You can watch me this first round and then join in for the next 3 rounds. So I'm going to close my right nostril with my right thumb as I inhale, pointing at my Kutastha center, my third eye with the index and middle finger, while these 2 fingers, the pinky and the ring finger, come in if you'd like to do that, but don't even worry about it. So I've inhaled completely. I'm covering my ears and putting on my helmet. So inhaling. And I'm humming, making the sound of the buzzing bee. This is a relaxing, all pranayama should be relaxed. So we're inhaling left, making the sound of the buzzing bee, listening internally. And when I've completed my breath, I'll inhale again through the left nostril. When you've completed your 3rd round of Bhramari Pranayama, closing the eyes and reposing, basking in the after effect of the pranayama. I hope you enjoyed this Leo season activation and this Bhramari Pranayama, the sound of the buzzing bee. We're listening internally and it's like cobwebs being cleared out. Please take this beautiful pranayama with you and practice it at home. It's a very easy, simple way to really tap into that clearing power of our breath control practice. I'm sending you so much love. Take rest this new moon as you clear out space to shine your brightest light. Namaste.